Hello everybody, I am TW1 and welcome back to City Skylines with me. I'm over by Timber Hill, just having a beautiful little look at the overall scape of things, really, how things are going. It's looking alright so far. Have a little zoom out. Yeah, it's not too bad, not too bad. So, I'm over here by Timber Hill for a reason. Reason being is we're not producing enough paper. That's the bulk of it, because this bad boy needs paper, and this factory over here needs paper, and hello, it is screaming for paper, because we do not, despite this bad boy saying, hey, fill me with paper, we haven't got enough paper coming over. So, what we need to do is we need to add in another one of these biomass pelt plants, because we have lots and lots and lots of sawmills creating timber for us, which is being stored all over the place. This is storing injury zone forestry products. This is storing planned timber. One over here, you're storing factory products. Got a log yard. Paper, you're going to be storing paper. You're storing timber. So yeah, lots and lots of the timber being made, not enough paper. So I think this gap right here, we will just pop in one of these factories. It's already a factory. It's a pelt plant. I suppose it could be called a factory. And then just reconnect the fence. Forestry friends, you there, a little bit of bend. And like a glove, that's that. Hopefully, that is going to help us out, and that'll be that. And I shouldn't need too much more. Where's that road goes? That goes round there, that goes round there. See, the only thing I could do is I could give them a little bit of an extra way out. So you could come off this road up here, bend round, come down, and then connect into here somewhere. But that's going to be a long, messy situation just to get a few trucks going this way on the highway instead of that way. Yeah, we are forcing the traffic to go in a certain direction. The only other thing is to try and get it so it bends round and connects in there before that highway connection, but that's going to be too close. That's going to be a bit of a mess, so we're just going to leave it alone. The trucks can make the journey along here, come to this roundabout, and then bundle it down the highway. I'm saying that, just come over here, come through here, and then they can drive through and over to the oil industry, and that should suffice. I have done a couple of little things in between the last episode and this episode. I've changed the way the fence is, so I've fenced up a little bit. The areas we haven't fenced off, I'm going to be putting some high density shops, because I think that would be a great place for some high density shops. And I think a nice unique building over here is going to really elevate the area. It's also going to give a boost to the shops that when we do put them in. So let's have a little flick through what we've got. Have got most of these unlocked. Some of them I don't unlocked because of certain little things, like I don't have a sightseeing bus stop, bus depot. I could construct one of them quite easily, to be honest, and then get whatever this is, the clock tower. See, this right here, see, I like this. So if I find one that's like the right amount of squares, it's going to fit plumb in the middle of that junction, and it's going to look great when you're driving down the road. So let's see if we can find one. Oh, you are tall. You work, but you are very tall, and I'm not sure I want that. You must be... Oh, I could put the posh mal over here. The posh mal fits. It fits. I don't know. Oh, you fit. What are you? Just have a little look at you. Oh, you're quite quaint. I quite like that. Yeah, because you're understated. You're not like, oh, big, look at me. You're just there. Yeah, you fit in. You're very nice. I am just going to sneak a road in here as well. Let's use the one with trees. And I'm going to sneak you round the back of that. Yeah, let's come one away. One away? Or should we just go as plumb? Yeah, let's go plumb as close to that park as we can. And then we're going to snag a little bit of more zonable space. And we'll start the episode off with some nice high density commercial. I think this is probably some of the first high density commercial in this city. So that is that. And then we'll just unclick pause and we'll get that going. And as you can see, we have tons and tons of residential demand. So that is all what this episode is going to be about. It's about trying to grow the residential side of Oil Town. It's called Magnolia District. I'm going to change the name of this to something different. What should we change it to? What should we change it to? Let's call it Slip and Slide, because I'm 5 years old and that works. Slip and Slide District will be the oil district and the oil town incorporated. You can just stay being what you are. Oh, I also did realise I got 2 plastic warehouses in the last episode. Your plastics and your plastics. So let's empty... Oh, you're glass. Not glass, are you? Empty and previous resource. Yeah, so if I switch you over to eventually will be oil products, not oil, zonable oil products, you'll empty. You'll go fill this bad boy up over here. And then you can supply this over here. What are you producing? Oil trucks coming over to here. So the entrance to this building is right on that junction. That is a pain in the backside, but we will have to just deal with that unless I build the road off and come out a little bit. Traffic's been fine. I have made some more, turned more of these roads into asymmetrical roads, just helps the AI out. Here's a great example. So if an AI car is sitting in this lane and it wants to turn right, and there is only one lane over here, let me just switch this over very quickly just so you can see. So this lane right here is doing 2 things. It can either go straight or it can turn left. So if any cars are sitting in this right lane and all they want to do is go right, the AI is going to see, like when you're seeing a junction yourself, you would look right and you see a car coming along here. If this car says, hey, I want to indicate, and that means it's going to turn left, so you would then enter the junction along as the other side is clear. Along as to your left is clear, you would then enter, because to your right you already know that they're going to be going down the road you're on. They're not going to be getting in your way. The AI doesn't have indicators, so the AI uses these road signs as the indications. So at the moment, any cars in this lane will look down this road as like a judge and go, hey, there's a car in my lane and it has the potential of cutting me over, going straight across. I also have that is a wrong button, that is just the wrong button. I also have a junction controls on here, so I can put a stop sign if I wish. I don't have a stop sign at the moment. But this AI car, or these AI cars, would see a car in this lane and say, hey, I can't go because this guy is going to be going straight through or turning left. All you're doing by switching this to having 2 lanes is that any cars that are turning left aren't going to obstruct this right hand turn lane of this junction, because all of the cars in this will look to that and say, hey, this lane, which is going straight, isn't being used, so I'm free to go. And that helps your traffic flow out a lot. It's surprising how many times, it's like lane mathematics, but when it comes to a junction, having arrows that point in one direction and not doing multiple things are very, very beneficial for this exact reason. It gives the AI a clear understanding of what's going on and what it's expected to be doing, so it doesn't have to second guess. You just cut across the white line. That's a driving violation. Talking of driving violations, I just got a speeding ticket, which is bad news bears. Yeah, I was doing 39 and a 40. It was my I was doing 39 and a 30. Yeah, little bit fast. I didn't even brake because I didn't see the police car, which was my bad. Also added a police station and a medical centre over here. Help these businesses out and just give a little boost to this whole area entirely. We need lots and lots of workers over here, because if you look at some of these buildings, they're not being used for workers yet. So yeah, good old 40 odd jobs in there. So let's start doing some mass zoning. Let's just try and work out how much of this we're happy to have as high density. So I'm just going to start picking out areas that I'm happy to be high density. I want to try and keep the high density central to this region, or to this district. So I think that is about as far as I want to go that direction. Yeah, and then we may incorporate this rock in this side as well and go up to that cul-de-sac, and we'll do this cul-de-sac in there. And that will probably be all of the high density residential we do. We shouldn't need too much more commercial over here because I'm expecting people to come over here instead. As you can see, I've changed some of the power lines and cleaned it up a little bit, just to make it a little bit easier to use, and then we can speed the game up and let these buildings grow. That is the aim of the game, indeedy. So let's watch them grow for a second. That's growing up. So while that's all growing, we can probably tick that on for power right now. So I'm going to click that on and say, hey, you can be power. And I'm just going to zone in a little bit more commercial. Do you really need commercial? I'm going to leave that alone for a second because I feel like that should suffice most of this region. I don't want to put too much more over here. Leave it alone for a sec. Let's check on a couple of little things that we added in last episode. So first off, we need to check out the train line and see how busy that is. So let's find the train, wherever it is along the track. This is where it's underground. No, here's one, and the other one is about to go underground. And we're going to see how many people are on each stop to make sure we're covering them well enough, and that is doing fine for me. 29%. Saving car trips is great. That will be saving this roundabout over here and this road full of lot of traffic, as well as, you know, these junctions in here. You know, they're big enough, they're fine enough to deal with the traffic, but if we can lessen the pressure of them at all, we might as well do it if we can. You are now producing paper, correct? Yes. Does that mean you're still screaming at me? You're not screaming at me. Well done me, I fixed that issue. Hello, plane. I just saw you. You are a plane. The other thing we added in was the ferry line. So let's check in the ferry line and see how busy it is. I'm gonna guess it's a little busy, guys. Yeah, right. Ferry line's not doing great. Holy McMoly. We're going to need a few more ferries on this line. I think that's confirmed. So we're just going to bump up to... What's the max I can have? 5. I'm going to hope 4 covers it. If we get to the point where 5 is what we click, that's the wrong button. I need to press 3 speed. Yeah, now these guys are going to start picking up all of this people and start moving them over. That is a lot of people on this ferry line. That is making me slightly worried because we're going to start dumping an extra wave of 50 people to this ferry stop very, very quickly, wave after wave after wave, and that is slowly going to impact all of our bus lines as well. So I'm worried how all our buses are doing. So just need to go through and have a little check through all of your buses every now and then. If you have buses in your city, just have a little look through, make sure you haven't got an excess of too many buses on a line. Like this line right here could probably do with one less, but as it's a football line, I'm going to keep it with an extra, couple of buses, because the stadium every now and then dumps, 700 people out, and the buses are quite handy at dealing with that. So yeah, I paused the game to look at the buses, and I need to be letting the game run to let this area grow. And now you are close enough for the power. Oh, there is the next level for the oil stuff. So an oil refining plant, a bigger drill, a maintenance building, oil tank farm, and a petroleum refinery. Let's have a little click through some of these things just to have a look, see if we can make maybe an upgrade to this area. Do we get a new factory at all? What was the factory we got? A petroleum refinery. I don't have a clue what that is. I'm going to guess that's like an ore thing, because I can't produce whatever that unit is. Yeah, I'm going to guess that's an ore thing, so I can't get that quite yet. We could make a soft paper factory, but it requires more paper, and that is huge freaking mungus. Holy moly. Holy moly. So, right, let's look at these buildings that we unlocked. So we unlocked, we've got one more until we get the off-sea stuff, the offshore stuff, and under the water, as you can see, is quite a lot of oil, so I'd like to be tapping into that if I can. I have just tweaked some of the road layouts around here ever so slightly. Let's pop one of you up there just to suck up a load of that oil, and I'll pop you up there as well to suck up all of the oil over here. Just go through and see how you're doing for oil balance. You're at 32%, 50%. That is the wrong button. Yeah, see, I want these to be like filling up really. Like, I want you to be slowly filling up, and I don't want to be wasting any of the oil because I want to be converting it into stuff. Holy, look at that. Into plastics, and we're then outputting £31,000 worth of plastics a week. That is all coming from our own production, so that is a big bang for a buck. Looking at that, so we're making 38 grand profit from this area, and we're only making 18 grand a week. So this area is keeping us afloat at the moment, so in the future we may have to do some little tweaks with the oil industry if we start losing money. So lots and lots of profit from here. That is good. We also unlocked a maintenance building. You're an oil storage. You can be placed outside of the industry. That's fine. You are an oil storage cavern. Okay, I don't know. What do you do? What do you do compared to what you do? So, is that 400,000 compared to 300,000? And you're 600,000, and you are just large, really. You are a big boy. You are a big boy indeed. Gee. So you would fit like that road up there or something quite happily. Quite snug, in fact, and then you'd store lots and lots of oil for me if I wished. I don't particularly need more storage, so I'm just going to leave that alone. Waste and oil waste refining plant is 90 workplaces and 800 units per week, so these are double the you're double the current sludge plants that we have. Production wise, it would save me about 800 a week, no, about $80 a week if we switched over to these. They have more workplaces as well, but I suppose it would save on workers slightly because it would just refine it all a little bit. Processing building, yeah, so we could replace some of these buildings with one of these, and that would help out with that. I don't particularly need any of that. We've got the oil rig, and then we've got a maintenance building. I will pop in a couple of maintenance buildings because why not? So let's pop one you in there. And let's try and find another road where you semi-fit quite snug. It's just that road really, isn't it? It's just that road where you fit perfect. Brilliant. Brilliant. Done it to myself again. There you go, you can go on that corner, can't you? And these buildings, when I can finally click on them, holy moly, they increase your storage efficiency, and they just help your area out a little bit, so that is all good. They also have work spots, so that's an extra 50 workers, that's an extra 100 workers we pop down, plus these oil rigs, which are also another 50, so that's another 200 workers we've just asked to come over to the area. So yeah, it's all well and good asking for commercial. I need lots and lots of residents game. So that is not particularly going great in that sense. I think we can now click you on and click you on. And if I am correct, that would mean all of the cable cars are hooked up. So we've now got maximum efficiency out of the cable cars. How are you now doing? Hopefully this ferry line is now covered. No. Just give me 5. Give me max. See, they're very, very busy. And the one good thing about that is you can't see how many like people are waiting in the cable cars. There could be like 200-300 people in here. Oh yeah, there is. I can see. There's a few people in here, isn't there? Yeah, and they're cable carring all over the place. So I'm going to guess this guy is about to come out of this direction with 30 on board. Yep, and you're going to the cable car with 18 on board. Just waves and waves of foot traffic, which is really, really good. It is saving us lots and lots of traffic. If you think about 300 or 200 cars whizzing about in this small area on these little roads that aren't exactly designed perfectly, it's going to be saving us a lot, and that allows us to keep our traffic flow nice and high. So yeah, chaining your public transports is great. I have a death over here. Someone died. Sad time for them. They died in the discount sales. Well, old people do like them discounts. They're now being picked up by the hearse. I did add a crematorium or a cemetery over here because one of the unique buildings requires like 7 cemeteries to be filled, so I might as well do that. Let's add in a few more shops then, because the game clearly wants more shops despite these bad boys being in. The big hiders. It is a lot of people, I admit. Let's see, what's the population of this area now? Slip inside population is 3,200. Let's compare that over to Timber Hill. Timber Hill is 1,200, so yeah, or 1,900 say. So it's an extra 1,300 people are already in the oil industry, working away in that sense. So yeah, we have a lot of extra people over this area, so I'm going to guess they're going to need lots and lots more commercial stuff. Finally, some more residential demand. Let's zone in more residential then. Diddly, 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 diddly. Let's try and get to this high score, because if we can get to this high score, we'll then click that on, and then that'll be pretty much all of the happiness in this area maxed out. When it comes to our services, because I think we're all covered. Yeah, there is medical over here. That road, that road could do with being connected, because that would help out traffic, would it? Let's think about it. Yeah, at the moment it is all that one road, isn't it? That road, that. Yeah, you probably could do with being connected, so let's just go through and connect you very quickly. Just to give you a little boost through there. I'll do a nice little S turn just because I can. Something a little bit different. Then that will help the traffic slightly be split. It shouldn't be too bad in that sense. Still some walking paths about if you want to take some shortcuts, people. They just gobble up the residential demand, and we finally have a little bit of industry demand, which is concerning me because we haven't got anywhere near filling these jobs out. So I think I'm just going to ignore them really a little bit. It's not going to happen, is it? I'm going to have to just leave this until all the oil is sucked out of the ground, and then we're going to have to switch. That's outside connections. There we go. So once all this oil has eventually been sucked out of the ground, we're going to be forced to switch to something different. You are now screaming out, is it paper again, man? It is paper. You clearly just cannot get paper fast enough at 100%. I'll have to dip you down another 10%. Just stop. Stop with the paper. You have so much plastic. Gee, so much plastic. And you are starting to fill up beautifully with some nice oil products in there. That's very good. Well, the high school has just been clicked on, giving a wave of happiness over to the oil town. Garbage collection issues slightly. Let's have a little check of the garbage as we're over here. So, shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, you're keeping up with demand all fine and dandy. There's a couple of little recycling plants covering each side of the town. I have got an extra one over here, ready to click on whenever we need, but nothing quite yet. I just keep looking at this here, because this is going to be a big junction here somewhere. I'm just not looking forward to doing that, because they are a pain in the backside to do. and I don't like doing them really, but that will be later on, probably next episode. Let's talk about future plans while the game is still filling stuff out, so I'm just going to zone in a couple of bits while we talk about the future of this series, because at some point I have spoken about this earlier on in a couple of episodes, that this series will come to a natural conclusion because of the game's capacity as well as my PC's capacity at some point, and we'll talk about that. I've been thinking about changing the name of the series after a while to vanilla-ish, and I'm going to install one mod, and one mod only, and it will be a mod called 81 tiles, so I can have all 81 game map tiles available to me, because at the moment in the base vanilla game it gives you 9, so we currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It gives you an extra 4. I've got another 4 to get, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 if we wish to go in that direction. That will be all 4 of them. So let's say we do that, and then in the next, by episode 50, all of that's filled out. I don't want this series to die, because I think it should be good to showcase vanilla players, people with, like PCs like me, which are not super powerful, and also console players, because console players can follow along with this. So I'll unlock the 81 tiles mod, and with the 81 tiles mod you can unlock all of the maps, tiles of the whole map, and then we can go wherever we want in this beautiful map, because there is some big chunks of land, like this one over here, this chunk of land over there. That looks awesome. That looks like a perfect destination for a big downtown area, a big city along the coastline. Build another a big city over there as well. Nice highway junctions over there that'll save the traffic in big areas. So there is a lot more to do with this city. But yeah, at some point when you see the name change to vanilla-ish, I'll explain at the start of that video that I will have then clicked on that mod. But yeah, that is that plan. Still need to get trains to outside connections. And I do have a future plan for this piece of land here that I'm very excited about. But I'll be speaking about when we get there. When we get there. For now, we're back to Oil Town. Out of this view. We're back to just letting it grow naturally. Because these buildings will upgrade, and when they upgrade they get more residents. So if you look here, 6 out of 7 households is filled up. That is giving you 18 people. I'm just going to pick this one here. He's up to level 3, still a level 1, and there's a lot more than 18 people, as you can tell. Quick maths, which is, a 55, is that my guess? No, 65. Yeah, 65. That's good maths, isn't it? Yeah, 65. So from level 3, just from level 1 to level 3, that's a lot more people in that building, I understand. It's 16 households instead of just 8, or 7 should I say. So yeah, you can't just go and spam in lots and lots of residents and lots of residents, as I just spammed in a low density. I understand that, but they're smaller and they'll grow into them naturally. Yeah, you do have to be careful and ready for these buildings to upgrade, and then more residents go into them buildings. And so for long periods of the time you have just got to sit here and either play it slowly and tickle away, or run it on free speed for a bit, roll your money up and enjoy just watching the game beautifully tick along, which we are doing at the moment while I'm rambling away, because I can't particularly play and ramble because I'm shit at that. Well, as you can see, Oil Town has now been fleshed out wonderfully with all the residents. I'm liking the looks of the high density up on the hill. As you slowly go up the hill, the high density goes up as well. With some of these taller buildings, pop on top. So if you come up here for a smoke, maybe you're a smoke or a coffee in the morning, sit up on top of here and look across the rest of the area over to the oil section over there. Or maybe this building would be the better one to see the oil section over there, and then you look and watch the bridge and look over to the island, as well as farming town. And over here you can see over into forestry. or you could like take some beautiful scenic pictures from up here. That'd be lovely. So yeah, that is Oil Town fleshed out, and I think I'm going to end the episode there because I haven't got too much more planned for this area apart from beautification, and I want to do a beautification whole episode. I don't want to just be trying to cram some in. Industry side of it, plenty more space to be putting that in, but we can put that in slowly and carefully. There's no need to rush that in. Just a little bit of dabbling here, a little bit of dabbling there, and the oil industry stuff will be going in. So just for instance, we'll start with that little chunk all zoned in, and then we can see how that gets on. Without trying to force it too much, we'll start to try and zone a little bit commercial on these roads. Not too much, maybe to about there. I'd leave that zoned space to give this junction to breathe as it is by the roundabout, for example. That is there as well. Could be some more commercial along there, could be more commercial. Just trying to flesh all of the area out as much as we can. Leave a little bit of a gap to the roundabout. There we go. Add a little walking path in around that rock, that'd be quite nice. And so yeah, I think we are about there. Thank you very much for watching along. I've been TW1, this is City Skylines. Oil Town is pretty much good, pretty much set. Next episode we will be moving over to beautification this stuff up. I'll do some beautification stuff. I may montage it for the intro so we don't do too much on screen. And then we'll be moving into some more high density grid like zoning over in this portion as we try and put in big chunks of population. Let's have a quick look at the population of this district. Up to 6,500. Lots and lots and lots of people in this small little area. It's booming along. The ferry stop is at maximum capacity, so we may have to look at a different mode of transport for getting people from one side or the other, because that is a lot of people trying to get from one side to the other. We may have to look at that in a later episode as well. Cable cars are booming people around as well, so here's a great example. If you want to save on traffic, incorporate some cable cars. They look great and they save lots on your traffic. So yeah, like I said a couple of times, I've been TW1, this is City Skylines. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time. As always, peace out.